once you got the tire or the wheel on the axle, it says insert the axle pin through the hole in the wheel hub and through the inside hole in the axle. So basically you're going to take this, insert it in this hole. Get back to you with two hands. You basically have to tilt the whole machine over to get this pin to line up, but you want to keep the ring on the outside like this so you can easily take it off if you need to. And we'll move on to the next step. Next steps actually put the other side wheel, the other wheel on the other side. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to need two hands to lift the machine up. You basically need two hands to tilt the machine at a pretty good angle in order to get the wheel to slide all the way on and then get the pin through the holes. And that's what I did now. And then this has to let's see. Yeah, once you get the pin through, you take the round circular part, flip it down. Next step is this control panel piece. It goes in between the handlebars. They actually do a good job with matching. See this number 2 here? That number 2 is 3 bolts, or 3 nuts and bolts, and that correlates with the 2 on here. So we're going to need those next, and it actually shows you the wrench size as well, 10 millimeter. So I have that prepared. I'm going to try and figure out the positioning of this control panel, and I'll set that in place and get back to you. The control panel positioned properly in the handlebars. Take note of the shape of this cutouts and stuff, and then you can't go wrong. It's also, the right side has 2 bolts, nuts and bolts and washers, set of 2, and the left side, if you're standing behind the snowblower, has 1. So I got the 2 on there already on the right side. They're just in and they're hand tight, washers on the outside. We do have locking nuts on the inside, and then I think there's a step later on that actually will put another bolt through. That's why there's only one is going in now, and it's the top one. So try and hold this. See if I can show you that. Gotta have a bolt in the washer. It's gonna go through. See, it's going to go through there, through the top hole in the control panel, as they call it, and then come back here and just put the nut on it, and hand tighten, and I'll see if it says to tighten it up fully tight, and I'll get right back with you. So yeah, tighten up these right side all the way tight with the 10 millimeter. You can probably best to have a wrench and a socket like I did. Speeds it up quite a bit. And they definitely did say you leave this lower hole free, clear, empty, and the third nut, washer, and bolt go in the top position. There's a chute assembly that's going to go into that second bottom hole. Once everything's tight, we move on to the next step. Next step in the instructions shows the shift lever being next. I'm going to grab this out and show you. The speed shift linkage. You got to remove a knob off the top, put it in the control panel, place it in there, or slide it in. Just put the knob back on. First step, knob off, and Looks like we put the lever through from the bottom up, and then the adjusting bolt has to be, I think, need to be loosened first, and then we'll set this in place and tighten her up on the bottom there. I'll show you that now. Looks like we're going to need number 3 on the tool pack, and we'll go and check that too. Number 3 on the tool pack is here, so I'm going to grab that out. It's also showing a 5mm Allen wrench. I got to go look for that. They don't supply the tools, obviously, so I'll be right back once I have everything we need. Alright, so let me show you this here. This is on the, it's showing you just below the engine. It's actually on the transmission housing. You'll see this, I guess like a rod protruding. This adjusting bolt is actually, see this protruding out? This is here. It's 10mm. This is going to adjust the shift lever somehow. So it says loosen. So I'm going to loosen her up pretty good. Back it all the way out, I guess, for now. And then we're going to install this. This is the actual shift lever, and you can see, I guess it goes there. And then we'll put the bolt through, matching the instructions. Looks like it goes through from the right to the left. And I'll tighten that up. It says loosen, blah, blah, blah. Secure the shift lever with the screw and nut. And then we're going to do some adjusting, it looks like. So we're going to adjust it until there's tension with a spring action when shifting from neutral to drive gear position. So let me first get it bolted on and we'll get back to this. Alright, so I did use 10mm wrench on this side, and they call it a 5mm Allen wrench on this side. It's tightened up, and now they're talking about slowly tightening the adjusting bolt until the shift lever has tension. So I'm going to tighten this up. I don't see any tension yet, so I'm going to tighten it up some more. Okay, I see what they mean. As you're tightening it, it'll pull it forward so it locks into this groove here. So I'm going to tighten it a little bit more because that's just a little bit of tension, but I think it should have more. Now, not too much, but definitely some more. Yeah, that feels about right. Yeah, see, it's snapping into place. So I'm going to go with that. And it does look like there's a bolt, a nut, and a bolt. So usually in that case, once you tighten the nut, you want to tighten up the bolt. The nut is doing the adjusting. I'm sorry, the bolt is doing the adjusting. The nut is going to actually tighten it and keep it adjusted in that position. So spring action when shifting from neutral to a drive gear. Neutral position to a drive gear. Looks like neutral would be like here, right? Neutral. Yeah. Yep. Alright, that's good. We got the adjusting bolt. Oh, it's called a jam nut. So then after you got the adjusting bolt set so that this has got tension on it, it kind of will snap into place like that. We're in good shape there. And then you do the jam nut, they call it. You tighten that up, keeps it all nice and tight in place. This here, control cables. It's saying disconnect the Z-fittings from the turnbuckles and hook them into the lower holes in the clutch levers. It does give you a detailed step-by-step procedure here. So I guess we have to unscrew the Z-fitting top part off of the turnbuckle and then put it in the lower hole of the handles. If you look here, I just pulled them up and over. They come like this, and you can see there's cable going to the right, cable to the left, and you're going to put the right on the right and the left on the left respectively, and I'm going to do that now to show you. Alright, just want to show you something here. The routing of it, it looks like it goes behind. It's hard to tell in the picture, but I'll show you in a second. Behind the control panel, the control panel actually has little like notches cut in it where the cable can ride, and the cable is going on the inside hole of the handle. So this left side cable will actually go on the inside, the right side of this left handle hole. I've got it right now taken apart. This is the turnbuckle and Z-fitting, and it's going to go into here in the handle on the left side. I'm sorry, the right side of the handle in the lower hole. I'll show you that now, and you can see the routing. It looks like it could just sit right in there. There's like a little pulley kind of thing on the bottom there, and that can ride right up through here, and it looks like it just sits in there. There, all I did was kind of snake it into here, and then it just sits like that, and then I'll connect the two and tighten it up just till it's taut. Do tighten it, but do not over tighten it, and just tighten it basically until there's no slack in the cables, and then they want you to tighten the jam nuts against the turnbuckles. And I'll show you that here. I have it so it's taut, pretty taut. I think that it says don't over tighten, so I'm going to go probably with that, and then tighten these down. Tighten this all the way down until it's tight against the turnbuckle here. I might just put another twist on this. It's kind of taut, but it's a little floppy. I want to make it a little tighter than that, and I'll get back to you. I'll actually do the other side and show you the finished step. Yeah, once both sides are taut, and you have this turnbuckle tight on the Z-fitting, you have this jam nut here. Use some sort of wrench. I got an adjustable wrench here, and you just want to tighten this up. You don't want to over tighten, but you want to tighten it so it stays in place. And let's see, that should do it. I mean, it's pretty taut. I might tighten this one up more. This one's a little more taut. I'll tighten this one up a little bit more and get right back to you. That should be it for that step. You actually may want to use a adjustable wrench and a pliers. You kind of got to grip this here with some sort of pliers. Needle nose aren't the best, but that's what I had handy. And then you tighten this jam nut with the adjustable wrench. Otherwise this turnbuckle will just keep spinning down and loosen the cable. So now they're nice and taut. Jam nuts are both tight. We'll get on to the next step. The next step is actually just fasten this clean out tool, but it came shipped like that, so the tool is already fastened there on top. We don't have to do that. So it's really the discharge chute that's next, and we want to sit the chute crank flange on top of the impeller housing. Make sure the notched edge is on the left side and the pre-greased surface is on the bottom. So that's pointing to the front. I'm going to take a look at the chute and see what they're talking about. Be right back.